There are 7 things you must never share. Not with your best friend, not with your girlfriend, not even with family. Stoicism teaches this. The more you reveal, the easier you are to destroy. Niccolo Machiavelli warned us, everyone sees what you appear to be. Few experience what you really are. That's not just a quote, it's a warning. In The Prince, he made one thing clear. If you want to stay in control, reveal nothing. The more you reveal, the easier you are to break. People smile at you, but behind that smile, they're collecting information. Give them the wrong piece, especially the last one, and it could be used against you. Today, I'm giving you the 7 things you should never reveal. They seem harmless, but they expose you. They make you predictable, vulnerable, easy to manipulate. Listen closely. This could save your reputation, your power, maybe even your life. Number 1. Your next move. There's a moment that feels small, but it isn't. You're sitting with an idea, a plan, something you want to do next, and without thinking, you tell someone. Machiavelli warned against this long ago. He believed the fastest way to lose power is to reveal your intentions too early. Not because people are cruel, but because once they know your move, it no longer belongs to you. Here's how it usually plays out. You share your plan with a friend. They smile. They listen. Then they say, "Are you sure? Now is the right time?" They sound calm, reasonable, helpful, but something inside you tightens. That doubt didn't come from you. It came from them. This is the danger Machiavelli saw. When others know your next move, they start shaping it, sometimes without meaning to. Their fears become your delays. Their limits become your ceiling. Let me give you a simple example. You tell a coworker you're thinking of applying for a better role. They laugh lightly and say, "That's competitive. Those spots usually go to insiders." They didn't insult you. They didn't block you. But later that night, you hesitate. You open the application, then close it. Nothing changed except the story in your head. Machiavelli believed power depends on timing. If people see your move coming, they prepare. They compare. They interfere. Silence removes their advantage. Another example. You tell family you're starting something new. They panic. They remind you of bills, risks, past failures. They say they're protecting you. But what they're really protecting is familiarity. And now your plan carries their fear. This is why unfinished ideas need quiet. New plans are fragile. They don't need opinions. They need momentum. Before, you talked. You explained. You looked for approval. After, you move differently. You build quietly. You let progress speak. You allow results to arrive without warning. That's when respect changes. Because people don't respect ideas. They respect outcomes. Machiavelli understood this clearly. He believed leaders should let others guess, never confirm. When people think they know your direction, they stop watching closely. That's when you move. Ask yourself this, be honest. Who benefits from knowing your next move? If the answer isn't you, stay silent. This doesn't mean lying. It means choosing when to speak. You don't owe explanations for growth. You don't need permission to change direction. Think about powerful people you admire. They didn't announce their steps. They acted, then let the world react. Silence protected their ambition until it was strong enough to stand alone. So let others wonder. Let them guess. Let them talk among themselves. Your job is simple. Move quietly. Finish what you start. Let results introduce you. Because the safest place for your next move is silence. And if this hits hard, drop this in the comments. I move in silence. Number 2, your weakness. There's a moment you've felt before. You're talking. You relax. You share a little too much. And later, you regret it. Machiavelli warned about this clearly. The world does not attack your strength first. It studies your weakness. What you reveal becomes a map for others. Not everyone uses it, but the wrong person will. Most people think honesty builds trust. Sometimes it does. But uncontrolled honesty builds targets. Here's how weakness usually leaks. You mention what scares you. You joke about what you're bad at. You explain why something hurts you. It feels harmless, even human, but someone remembers. Weeks later, during a disagreement, that same point comes back used against you. Not loudly, quietly, with precision. That's not an accident. Machiavelli understood that people watch more than they listen. They store details. They wait. Power comes from knowing what to show and what to conceal. Let me give you a simple story. A man at work admits he hates confrontation. He says it casually, laughs it off. Soon, people interrupt him, push deadlines onto him, speak over him in meetings. Not because they're evil, but because they learned something. Another example. You tell a friend you struggle with confidence. Later, they tease you as a joke in front of others. You smile, but something inside shrinks. Before, you were neutral. After, you're positioned lower. Machiavelli would say this: never give people tools they didn't earn. Your weakness is one of those tools. This doesn't mean pretending to be perfect. It means being selective. Before, you explained yourself. You opened up early. You tried to bond through vulnerability. After, you move differently. You let people earn access. You test trust before revealing depth. You speak less about what hurts you and more about what you're building. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Some people don't want to understand your weakness. They want to manage you with it. And once they know where you bend, they press there. Machiavelli believed leaders must appear solid even when they are not to deceive for fun, but to prevent exploitation. A visible crack invites pressure. Ask yourself this mirror question. Don't rush it. Who knows your insecurities right now? And what have they done with that knowledge? That answer matters. Notice powerful people. They don't overshare. They don't confess everything. They choose silence over sympathy. Their calm isn't cold. It's controlled. This is the shift. You stop feeding people emotional leverage. You stop narrating your pain to unproven listeners. You stop confusing openness with safety. Your weakness doesn't disappear. It just stops being public. And when it's no longer visible, it can no longer be used. Machiavelli knew this. What people can't see, they can't attack. So guard your weak spots. Strengthen them privately. Reveal them rarely. Because the strongest move isn't hiding who you are. It's deciding who deserves to know. If you're still here, you're not like most. Most people quit. They scroll. But you're still watching. And that says something. You're hungry. You want power over your life. So, congratulations. Because the next one is where most people destroy themselves without even realizing it. This is the one that ruins reputations, sparks jealousy, and paints a target on your back. Before we move to Machiavelli's third strategy, if you're getting value from this, tap like and subscribe. It tells me to keep making videos like this. Number 3. Your income. There's a silent trap most people walk into without noticing. They talk about money too freely. Not to brag, not to lie. Just to be open. And the moment they do, power slips. Machiavelli warned that money changes how people position themselves around you. Once people know what you earn, they stop seeing you as a person. They see you as a resource. And resources get used. Picture this. You're at the gym. Someone you barely know asks, "So, what do you do for work?" You answer casually. Then they push. "Does it pay well?" You tell them. From that day on, the tone changes. They start asking for advice. Then favors. Then introductions. You didn't get stronger. You just got exposed. Another situation. You're renting a place. The landlord casually asks what you do and how business is going. You mention numbers, thinking it builds trust. Next month, the rent goes up. Not because the market changed. Because their perception of your limits did. Machiavelli understood this deeply. The moment people know your resources, they plan around them. Here's a different example. You join an online group. Side hustles, investing, growth talk. Someone shares how much they make. Others follow. Soon, competition replaces conversation. People start flexing. Others start doubting themselves. The group doesn't grow. It fractures. Money turns neutral spaces into battlefields. This is why the powerful stay unclear. They don't say, "I make this much." They say, "I'm doing okay." They don't explain. They don't defend. They let others guess. Machiavelli believed uncertainty protects power. When people can't measure you, they can't corner you. They don't know how much pressure to apply. They don't know what you can afford to lose. And here's the danger most people miss. Once people know your income, they judge every move. If you don't help, you're selfish. If you do help, it's never enough. If you relax, you're wasting money. If you grind, they expect more results. Before, you lived freely. After, you live under quiet surveillance. So stop volunteering numbers. Not out of fear, out of control. Let your lifestyle speak if it needs to. Let results appear when they're finished. Ask yourself this hard question. Who benefited when I revealed my income, me or them? That answer tells you why Machiavelli stayed silent about resources. Your income is not honesty, it's leverage. Protect it, because the less people know what you earn, the harder it is for them to decide how to use you. Number 4, never expose your relationship conflicts. The moment you reveal private conflict, power shifts, and rarely in your favor. Machiavelli warned that division is the fastest way outsiders gain control. When people know where tension exists, they don't help fix it. They position themselves inside it. Let me start with something simple. A couple sits at dinner with friends. One joke goes a little too far. Someone laughs awkwardly. Later that night, one partner vents in a group chat. Just a small complaint. Just frustration. By the next week, opinions form. Sides appear. Advice turns into judgment. The conflict didn't shrink. It multiplied. Here's the truth most people learn too late. Once others know your relationship problems, they stop seeing the relationship as whole. They see cracks, and cracks invite pressure. Machiavelli understood this well. He believed that internal weakness must never be public because outsiders always exploit it, sometimes subtly, sometimes cruelly. Another scenario. A man argues with his partner about money. He talks to a co-worker during lunch, thinking it's harmless. The co-worker listens, nods, seems supportive. Weeks later, that same co-worker casually flirts with his partner at a work event. Why? Because they smelled instability. Not because they're evil. Because people move toward opportunity. Now consider a different example. A woman posts a vague quote online. Sometimes the person closest to you hurts you the most. She doesn't name names, but everyone knows. Friends start messaging. What happened? You deserve better. I always thought something was off. Now she's emotionally trapped. If she stays, she looks weak. If she leaves, she feels pushed. The internet didn't heal her. It cornered her. Machiavelli believed privacy preserves authority. Once others weigh in, you no longer control the outcome. You start reacting to opinions instead of reality. Here's the dangerous part. People don't want the full story. They want entertainment. They want drama. They want to feel wise by advising your life. And once you accept their input, you accept their influence. Before, conflict stays between two people. Solutions are possible. Respect remains. After exposure, every action is judged. Every move is watched. Every reconciliation looks suspicious. Ask yourself this painful question. Who actually benefited the last time I shared my relationship problems? If the answer isn't the relationship, then you already know the cost. Strong relationships handle conflict quietly, not because they're perfect, but because they're protected. Machiavelli didn't preach silence to be cold. He preached it to maintain control. So, argue if you must. Feel emotions if they come, but keep the battlefield private. Because once outsiders enter your relationship, you're no longer solving a problem. You're managing a crowd. And power dies in crowds. Number 5. Never share your family problems. It usually starts quietly. A long day, a short temper, a sharp comment at home. Later, you sit with someone outside the family, a neighbor, a colleague, a distant relative. You sigh and say, "I'm just tired of how things are at home." That sentence feels light, but it carries weight. Machiavelli warned that internal disorder is the easiest weakness to exploit. Once outsiders know where your family is divided, they don't bring peace, they bring influence. Here's a small scene. A woman argues often with her parents. She vents to a co-worker, thinking it's safe. The co-worker listens carefully. Weeks later, every time she's frustrated at work, that co-worker says, "Well, your family never supported you anyway." Now the conflict has a voice outside the house, and that voice grows louder. Family problems are different from other problems. They are emotional, they are deep, and they shape identity. Once exposed, they don't stay neutral. Another example. A man complains to a friend about his brother. Just jokes at first, then resentment, Soon, the friend avoids the brother at gatherings. Whispers form. Tension spreads. What was once a private issue becomes a public label. Machiavelli understood this dynamic well. He believed those who know your fractures can pull you apart without force. They don't need to attack. They just wait and apply pressure. Here's the hard truth. Most people don't know how to hold family complexity. They simplify it. They choose sides. They remember details longer than you expect. And once they form an opinion, you can't erase it. Before sharing, arguments fade. Time softens emotions. Family repairs itself slowly. After sharing, every mistake is remembered. Every apology is doubted. Every reunion is questioned. Ask yourself this mirror question. If this problem improves tomorrow, will the people I told ever forget it? Usually, the answer is no. Machiavelli believed power comes from controlling what others know. Silence isn't denial, it's strategy. That doesn't mean suffering alone. It means choosing wisely. There is a difference between seeking guidance and broadcasting weakness. One strengthens you. The other exposes you. Family conflict should be handled where it belongs, inside the circle or with someone sworn to confidentiality and clarity. Not with people who watch from the outside. Because once your family struggles become public knowledge, they stop being problems to solve. They become stories people repeat. And stories, once released, no longer belong to you. Protect your inner circle. Protect your family narrative. Not everything needs to be heard to be healed. Sometimes the strongest move is keeping the door closed. Number 6. Never share your long-term goals. It usually sounds harmless. Someone asks, "So where do you see yourself in 5 years?" You pause. Then you answer honestly. "I want to build something big. I want freedom. I want more." That moment feels open, but it's dangerous. Machiavelli warned early that intentions lose power once they are exposed. A goal spoken too soon invites interference, doubt, and silent resistance. Here's a simple story. A young man tells a gym friend he plans to quit his job and start a business. The friend nods, smiles, says, "That's ambitious." A week later, the comments begin. Most businesses fail. Bad timing. You're not really the business type. The man hasn't failed yet, but his confidence has. Nothing was attacked directly. The goal was weakened before it was built. That's how it works. Another example. A woman tells her relatives she plans to move to another city for a better future. At first, they listen. Then the pressure starts. What about family? What if it doesn't work? You're being unrealistic. Now, every dinner becomes a debate. Every doubt becomes heavier. Her goal didn't change. Her energy did. Machiavelli understood this clearly. He believed people don't resist your success once it exists. They resist it while it's still fragile. A goal in motion can be blocked. A goal completed can only be respected. When you share long-term goals, 3 things often happen. Some people compare themselves to you and feel smaller. Some feel threatened and try to slow you down. Some smile but secretly hope you fail. Not because they hate you, but because your future highlights their comfort. Here's the painful mirror question. Why do I tell my plans to people who haven't built the life I want? Sit with that. Before sharing, your goal is clean, focused, yours. After sharing, it becomes crowded. Opinions enter. Fear leaks in. Machiavelli's lesson was simple but ruthless. Control information, control outcomes. Silence keeps your direction sharp. This doesn't mean lying. It means delaying. You don't announce the seed, you show the harvest. Think of history. Powerful moves were never pre-announced. They were revealed only after success made them undeniable. When you move quietly, people can't prepare against you. They can't doubt you into stopping. They can't sabotage what they don't see coming. Let them ask questions later. Let them react after. Because once the result exists, words lose power. Long-term goals need protection, not applause. They need space, not commentary. Build in silence. Move without noise. And when the time comes, let the result speak for you. That's not secrecy. That's strategy. Number 7. Never reveal your biggest regrets. It feels human to share them. You sit with a friend or colleague. A quiet moment appears. You breathe, then say, "I wish I had done things differently back then." It sounds honest, relatable, safe. But it's not. Machiavelli knew this centuries ago. Revealing your vulnerabilities gives others leverage over you. Regrets are not just stories, they are maps of your weak spots. Once someone knows them, they can be used against you, subtly or openly. Take an example. A young woman shares with a co-worker how she lost a promotion years ago because she hesitated to speak up. Her co-worker nods, smiles, and seems supportive. Months later, when a new project arises, the same co-worker questions her ideas, saying things like, "Remember last time you were unsure?" Her regret became ammunition. She didn't even realize it. Another scenario. A man tells his partner about a failed investment that cost him thousands. It felt safe to confess. Later, during an argument, that past mistake resurfaces. You still haven't learned from that, have you? His regret isn't a memory anymore, it's a lever to influence his present decisions. This is why Machiavelli emphasized guarding what you've learned at your cost. The lesson exists internally. The story doesn't need a narrator. Think about it. Every regret is a doorway to manipulation if revealed. People can shape their behavior around your weaknesses. They may act supportive, but every insight into your past gives them subtle power. Here's the key. Keep regrets private. Share lessons, not failures. Focus on the growth you achieved, the skills you've built, the clarity you now have. That alone inspires respect. Example. Instead of saying, "I regret losing that promotion," you can say, "That experience taught me how to take initiative and own outcomes." Same truth, different impact. No leverage given, only authority maintained. Machiavelli would remind you, control what others see, and they cannot control you. Vulnerability in the wrong hands is not authenticity, it's weakness. Your past mistakes are yours. Your lessons are yours. Your power lies in what you act on today, not in the memories you confess. So the next time the urge strikes to spill a regret, pause. Think. Decide. Does sharing this elevate me or give someone else leverage? Keep the regret. Reveal the strength. Let your present and future speak louder than your past. Because power is silent. Regret is silent. And those who know how to remain untouchable never hand their regrets to anyone. Now think, how many wins have you lost by talking too much? How many steps did you slow down explaining yourself to people who don't even know who they are? Now flip it. What if you stopped broadcasting? What if you built in silence, healed in silence, and struck when no one saw it coming? The world doesn't respect warnings. It respects surprise. It respects precision. It fears what it doesn't hear coming. If that's the energy you're stepping into, guard your silence like your life depends on it, because it does. If this hits hard, don't keep it to yourself. Send it to a friend, a brother, someone who needs to shut up and level up. You might save their future. Like the video. Subscribe. This channel isn't for comfort, it's for clarity. I'll see you in the next video. If you haven't watched my previous video, Never Defend Yourself, Machiavelli's trick to flip the power, you're missing the foundation that makes these rules actually work. Think of this video as strategy. That one is your armor. You'll find it linked below and on the end screen.